Dr. Umar Johnson is currently receiving some backlash for some statements that he made about the new films Spiderman and The Little Mermaid. As you all know, in a previous video, I highlighted the fact that Halle Bailey was receiving some racist backlash for her casting in the role of Ariel in the new film Little Mermaid. Okay, all over Twitter, persons were up in arms and they actually made a hashtag called Not My Ariel. Okay, now we know this is ridiculous because the film is based on a cartoon. It's not a real thing. It's not a historical film. So literally anyone, female, can be cast as the Little Mermaid, right? But persons were saying her skin didn't look white. They were saying her hair didn't look red, and they made all sorts of excuses to attack a children's film. All right. Well, also the new Spider-Man film, which is actually a cartoon film, was made with a black character playing Spider-Man. All right. This didn't sit right with many Spider-Man purists who feel like Peter Parker is the only Spider-Man they know. All right, but Dr. Umar Johnson weighed in on the situation, and what he said was he thinks it's very deceptive for the films to be cast with a white character playing the love interest. All right, he thinks that the black Spider-Man should not have had a white girlfriend in the Spider-Man film, right? And he thinks that the character of Ariel should not have been in a relationship with a white man. All right, Dr. Umar Johnson believes that this is a part of an agenda to cause black people to look outside of their race to find a mate or to find a significant other, right? And it's no secret that Dr. Umar Johnson opposes interracial relationships and interracial marriages. So this should not have come as a surprise to anyone. He went on the Breakfast Club and he had a video that did millions of views where he highlighted his Pan-African position on interracial relationships, and he has made this clear consistently for a number of years, right? There are many people who share his view, that's in the white community and in the black community, right? And so I think it was really disingenuous for persons to portray the situation like this was a new opinion that he was sharing and that somehow they didn't already know Dr. Umar thinks this way or feels this way. Okay, now in my I actually did a course which pertained to the history of film, and what I discovered was that the entire film industry was created as a propaganda tool. All right, during World War One, the UK, America, France, Germany, and Russia were all using films as a way to galvanize the public, to make them more nationalistic, and to actually make them oppose whoever the enemy was at that time, right? And so films initially were made to change the opinions of the masses, and it was basically a means of social engineering, right? And so I believe what Dr. Umar Johnson is saying about the casting of these films actually has a lot of merit. It is no doubt that they cast a black person with a white love interest so that they can actually make them date outside of their race or to see it as more acceptable. All right, now I think people have been choosing whoever they wanted to choose for millennia, and so I don't believe films will make them change their opinions about who they are attracted to. But I do believe it is a very overt form of social engineering, whereas it is difficult to find a major film that has two black characters in the leading roles. Like a black husband, a black wife, black boyfriend or black girlfriend. Usually when we see this type of situation, one of them is on their way to jail or one is on their way to the grave. But family, it's not coincidental to see the types of roles that black persons are cast in Hollywood. All right, I saw a film from Melvin Van Peebles, and he actually spoke about the genesis of black actors in Hollywood. He said that the initial black actors were actually only put on the film to die. He said that they were walk-on characters that were there to be shot, to be hit with a spear or an arrow, or to be portrayed as a slave. But black actors and actresses have had to endure this discriminatory practice for numerous decades. All right, and so we know that Hollywood definitely has numerous agendas that they use these films to perpetuate. All right, but family, let me know your thoughts in the comments below about all these dynamics. One love.